morning. I'm Stephen Engelhart. I'm the Executive Director of Adirondack Architectural Heritage, and today we're here at Great Camp Santanoni in the Essex County town of Newcomb. And imagine it's 1894, and you have just traveled for 11 hours from Albany by train and then by horse-drawn conveyance, and you finally arrived here at Camp Santanoni. Let's take a look. One of the people in that very first spring outing in 1894 was a young woman named Hiberti Prine. And when she hops off the wagon, arriving here for the first time, she cannot believe what she's come upon. And she runs around the porches and she goes inside the cabins and she can't believe that there's a piano, that there are fires burning in the fireplaces, that there's hot and cold running water and in the bathrooms, and that there is such marvel around the camp, the mountains in the distance, the big lake out in front, and that there's this whole natural world surrounding the camp that is there for the family, the Prine family, and their friends to enjoy. And this is what happens here over the next 50 years. The Prine family, several generations of the Prine family, come here with their extended family and friends, and the whole point of being here was to be on the water, to walk in the woods, to hunt, to fish, to be together, to play, to experience joy, and to be in the natural world more than anything else. And so jumping ahead to today, that's really what the vision is for Santanoni now in public ownership, is for this to be a place where visitors can come and eat lunch on the porch and go out in a canoe and to swim and to paint and to write and to read and to try to enjoy just a little bit of the kind of life that the Prines had here around the turn of the last century. But to get to the point where we could people could have that kind of experience, a lot of work needed to be done. This site was owned by New York State for 20 years and not taken care of. And over the last now almost 30 years, there's been a tremendous amount of work here to bring it back to life through a wonderful partnership between Adirondack Architectural Heritage, New York State DEC, and the town of Newcomb. And over that time, we've done about $3 million worth of work, putting new roofs on buildings, making structural repairs, repairing windows, foundations. And so now almost all of the 20 buildings on the site are at least stabilized and preserved and secure. And it is now a place that people come by the thousands every year to see this amazing family retreat, now to be enjoyed by all of us. The design of this main camp was actually inspired by a kind of traditional Japanese architecture. And if you were to zoom up in the air and look at this roof, the building from the air, you would see that it looked like a bird in flight, which comes out of a kind of traditional Japanese architecture that young Robert Prine knew when he was a teenager there, living in Japan when his father was the minister there. And the main lodge has these 6 log buildings that are all connected together by a common roof and porch system. And as you turn one corner, another part of the camp emerges, and you go around another corner and another part of the camp emerges, and gradually it all unfolds. And it's wonderful the way that this sets so gently on the landscape, very respectful and very enshrouded a little bit by the trees here. And it's a big building, but it doesn't feel big because of the way it's placed and designed to sit on the landscape. And it's just a remarkable work of log architecture. This was designed by a New York architect named Robert Robertson for the Prines. They knew each other at Rutgers University and had a long professional and friendship relationship. And it just keeps going. And in the building to the right is a big living room and dining room and a little library. inside of which is a massive two-sided stone fireplace, built-in benches for the family and their friends to gather around. This has a beamed ceiling and birch bark on the wallpaper and tatami matting on the walls around the kitchen. Again, more of that Japanese influence. But you'll notice a relatively small amount of area given over to indoor gathering. And again, that reflects the Prine's wish to be outside. The whole idea here was to be outside and to be out into nature. And that's a beautiful, I think, message for all of us. And it's the way people are still experiencing the camp today. As you came in on the 5-mile road to get here, you would have passed the farm, and the farm was very much part of the whole Santanoni Preserve complex. Robert Prine was very interested in dabbling in agriculture and also interested in providing good foodstuffs for family and friends, and so they produced vegetables and meats and small fruits and dairy products, and it was also very much a center of camp life. And that's also part of what you see. Ooh. The loons are saying hello. And for almost 30 years, we have had summer staff here. And as we turn the corner here, you will see the little work area where the staff has been reglazing windows. The staff, over 20 or 30 years, has stained this entire building, has fixed and repaired every window in the building, and has done an amazing amount of work here. The other way that work gets done is that we raise money through state and federal sources, and so some of the work gets done through general contractors. And this summer we're just completing the largest single restoration project that's ever been done here. A whole new shingle roof, major repairs to some areas of the foundation, some repairs to the log work, some repairs to the masonry chimneys, and I don't think the camp has ever been in better shape, at least on the exterior, since it was built. So this is a huge achievement, something we're very, very happy about. And I guess I should add that the Preservation League was very important to our successes here, and starting with being advocates with all of us for the site, starting in the 1990s, and then providing funding for historic structures reports and conservation plans that provided the basis for doing the conservation work, not just here, but at the farm and at the Gate Lodge. And all of that sprang from the support that we got from the Preservation League. So they've been wonderful allies along the way, and been very important to our successes here. And you know, to be here on such a lovely day with the loons calling out in the water, and we just saw a canoeist go by with a fishing rod hanging out over the canoe, you really get the loveliness of this place. There's also a gentle breeze coming across the lake, and it just really couldn't be more perfect. And this is why people come, and this is why we would encourage you to come. Camp Santanoni, a New York State-owned great camp in the town of Newcomb.